Well, good morning, magandang umaga, and welcome to today's episode of My PR Dream. Hey, good morning, Hopone. You want to come up here with me, huh? Yeah, say hi to everybody. Well, anyway, am I excited? Am I so excited to be able to present the next couple of episodes to you? If you're someone who is thinking about going green, if you're someone who is fed up with those high utility bills, if you are someone like me who just wants to become as independent away from any of the utility companies as possible, then today's episode is going to be for you. Anyway, let's go ahead and get today's episode started. Now, without further delay, let's get today's video underway. I'm sitting back here in the backyard of Villa Feliz, and if you've been following the construction and the build and the DIY project here at Villa Feliz from the very beginning, you know from the very start one of our intentions was to include a solar system inside our build here, some way to be able to give us some independence from the utility company. And when we started the build back in February of 2017, we really didn't think that the prices of the utilities were going to go up quite as fast as they have, and especially I think the last couple of years the prices per kilowatt hours have gone up a lot, and I think it has a lot to do with the cost of fossil fuel, the cost of fuels that the electric companies, the utility companies have to pay for the fuel to be able to give you electricity. So we have finally bit the bullet. We bit the bullet. When I say that, what I mean is we actually committed to a solar system. Now, I want to lead up to today's episode. Today's episode, what we're going to do, we're going to show you some of the solar system that we have installed here. And not only is it installed here, it is 3 different houses right here. Our Canadian neighbors, if you're following that build, across the street. We have a couple just 1 block behind us, and here at Villa Feliz we're doing 3 solar installs at the same time. So I think we can call this a story or a tale of 3 solar systems. How does that sound? 3 solar systems. And the reason we're doing 3 is because we wanted to explain a little bit about the differences between different types of installations, and it mainly has to do with roofs. We have 3 different roofs, and we're going to show you 3 different types of installations over the next 2 episodes. I hope it's 2 episodes. I haven't edited the 2nd episode yet, so hopefully it doesn't go into a 3rd. I think we're good at 2. So today's episode is going to be the preliminary. It's going to be some installation of some roofing solar panels on the top of a couple of roofs. It's going to be a little bit of a solar installation of the electrical in another place across the street. Our neighbor, Canadian neighbor, because they weren't able to get the solar panels installed on time while the other houses were being done because of the type roof, and we'll get into that a little bit more in today's episode. Episode 2 is going to be more about the commissioning. Episode 2 is going to be about the commissioning. When I say commissioning, once everything is installed and they do an operational check and we look and see the effectiveness of what solar can do for you in your house. Also in episode 2, we're going to go into the tech details. We're going to talk about different types of solar systems. We're going to talk about your basic needs. We're going to talk about costs. We're going to go into all those different details that you might be interested if you're considering a solar system in your future. Well, again, let's go ahead and get today's episode started.
Yeah, the ATS is this one. I saw.
That's the same. That's the same as our.
Yeah.
Very similar to our kit. It's not the exact same one.
Because I'm not sure if this is the same ATS because this is.
Now today is day one of the solar installation. Go Solar is on site. The first part of the morning, which is like pretty much anytime you start a main project, they have to get all the necessary permits, all the workers' IDs. They have to get clearance to work on your house, and that's what they have completed. Now they are starting on our neighbor's yard, which is one block back behind us over here. So we're going to go down there and we're going to look at where they are, how they're setting up. Remember, we have 3 projects that we are working on right here. The neighbor one block away, Villa Feliz right here, and Casa V back here as well. All 3 have different types of roofs, and we're going to go into detail for each one of those. So let's go ahead and go on down to Bryn's building site and go ahead and see what Go Solar is doing. Now to put the position of the properties in perspective, Casa V, Villa Feliz right over all this overgrown grass right here, and then the house we're looking at is right here. We're going to go over and take a look at our friend's house on the top of this hill. Now this is rainy season and it's just after lunchtime right now, and about lunchtime pretty much every day consistently we're having a lot of rain, and it comes and goes, it comes and goes all through the afternoon. So you can see, of course the road is wet, you probably see some steam coming up, and you can see that the team from Go Solar have already arrived and they're already starting to attach some of the mounting hardware on the roof. And this is the solar panels that they're going to be installing here on this project right here, as well as ours, and as well as on the Canadian neighbor's house as well. And we'll talk a little bit more and go into detail about these specific solar panels in just a little bit. So this is the carport area on this side. This room is sort of like a utility room. It's going to have circuit breakers and it's going to have the inverter. Let's go ahead and take a look and see what's going on inside here. And where's your inverter? Where's your inverter going?
It's going here.
On this wall right here. Okay.
And the batteries are going here.
And the battery, the power banks are going to go over here on the side of here. Okay.
And then the panel boards here.
So I just got done talking with the engineer for Go Solar that's overseeing the project at our British friend's house. And it seems that since it's such an easy roof, the slope isn't nearly as bad as the slope here on the top of Villa Feliz. They're going to be able to do everything as far as the brackets and the solar panels and get them all installed in one afternoon. So they should be finished with that. So let's go ahead and grab the drone and try to get a closer look at some of the details of some of the mounting brackets and some of the hardware, the frame that's going to be supporting the solar panels that's going to be installed this afternoon, even with all this rain, and we'll see. Now, I'm really excited about today. Today is the day that they start our solar panel install, as well as maybe some of the other components that have to do with our new solar system. Now, yesterday, while we were gone to San Nicolas and to El Volcano, they did the install of some of the electronic components in our Canadian neighbor's build. They installed it inside the garage, so maybe I'll have an opportunity to walk over there before the solar team actually make it here on site and start our installation. All right, here we are inside the garage. The garage is where Go Solar has installed the inverter and the two battery power banks that they have over here. Now, you want to be as close to your circuit breaker panel, which is behind the ladder over here, as possible. So what's going to happen is the power is going to come through a cable from the solar panels on the roof and go inside the inverter. The inverter is going to convert the DC power into AC power, and then the AC power is going to supply the circuit breaker panel here. But also the DC power that's going to be coming in from the solar panels is also going to charge. They're also going to charge both of these power walls here, these battery storage units here. It's about 1 hour until the Go Solar team arrive here on site at Villa Feliz. Today's the day that they're going to do the installation of most of the solar panel support mechanism, as well as the panels themselves. So I'm hoping we can get that done without any complications from the rain. Again, it's rainy season. The other complication that I'm always concerned about when it comes to this roof right here is the angle. Remember, Villa Feliz is about a 35-degree angle for the roof pitch compared to the other two roofs. One is a flat roof, and the one at our British neighbors just down the street from us that we saw yesterday, that is probably maybe something like a 5%. I'm going to say maybe be about a 5% slope that they have on that one. So it is relatively easy for the team to navigate. But it's not something that this team hasn't done in the past. I've seen some of the installs. We actually visited, you saw in the earlier part of today's video, and you could see that they've had no problem installing on those pitches of roof as well. All right, so let's go ahead and sit back, wait for the team to get on site, and then we'll continue there. Now, the guys from Go Solar are here. You can see they're already up on the roof. They're doing some measurements. And what they're going to do, they're going to go on the opposite side of the roof, on the bigger side that we have that originally was supposed to have 7 solar panels installed, and see if it's possible to install 10 solar panels instead of 7, so that we can achieve the same requirements or the same output as the other two houses. Originally, it was restrictive, and that's why we were at the lower, the 8.1 kilowatts, why we went with the 15 panels instead of the 18. But the engineer here, and this is engineer Christian Lorenzo, he says that if it can measure okay on the other side, they can add the other 3 panels, and we can have the over 10 kilowatt system that I originally wanted on Villa Feliz. Now, as our roof has such a steep pitch, it's kind of necessary for them to use some of the safety harnesses, so they're connecting that up right now so that nobody gets hurt. So as you can see, they're doing the L brackets up here, all the L brackets along here. They did the L brackets with the rails going in right now. They did silicone sealant around it so we don't have any leaks, where the self-tapping screws go inside the roof tile and then goes down through to the C-purlin on the inside. We also have some pressure washing going on the other side. I did the pressure washing here just a few days ago, and you can see the roof looks brand new again. I didn't think it would be this easy to be able to pull off the volcanic ash, but it really didn't do any damage. It just needs to be pressure washed, which is what's going on up here. The team from Go Solar graciously volunteered to go ahead and do that. So 2 things. One, so that it looks better, but one of the other things is the panels that we're using here, the type of panels have a panel on the top and the very bottom, and some of the reflective light on the bottom of the solar panel will actually produce electricity from the solar energy. So right now, what you see, when you are at the end of the rail and you need to connect another rail from one to the other, you're going to install something like this right here. This is a splice that goes in between the two rails for the connection to keep the rail connected together nice and strong. That's what he's doing up there right now. Now, something I want to talk about real briefly is the L brackets. The L brackets, which is this right here. This is what's attaching to the roof going into the C-purlin. And what you see right here is a 10mm stainless steel self-tapping screw or self-tapping bolt that goes into the C-purlin. And it has a rubber, like a rubber washer on the bottom to be able to provide some stability, and also so you don't do damage to your roofing tile. Now, a good thing about this right here that a lot of people don't realize is, because people have the misconception that sometimes putting solar panels on your roof is going to make your roof less safe when it comes to something like a typhoon. But what you're actually doing, you're making your roof a little bit stronger, because when you put these additional 10mm bolts inside there, again, connecting your roof tile down to the purlin inside there, you're adding additional strength for those tiles so that don't fly away from the negative pressure from something like a typhoon. The guys from Go Solar, they are done for the day. They have left. And it looks like we're going to have another day tomorrow, and we'll have one more day after that. It'll be about a 3-day install here. And I think the difference between our house and the other houses are, the reason it's a 3-day instead of probably a 2-day, is we have a little bit more complexities with the angle of the roof. Which that's understandable, but we want to get it right. We want to make sure we don't have any leaks. So I think what we're going to do, we're going to make this into a part A and a part B, or part 1 and a part 2 series on solar installs, because we've got about 20 minutes worth of material here, and there's a lot more stuff that I want to include when it comes to details, because we're going to talk even about the cost of solar, the types of solar panels. We're going to talk about all that technical stuff, and if you're someone who is interested in installing and you want to have a better understanding of what solar is all about, then we'll probably be putting that into the next episode, because I certainly don't have it in this episode. So again, we're going to make a couple of short episodes so it's not too long. Well, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed today's episode, and I hope you look forward to the next one. And if you did, please give me a thumbs up, please share, and if you have not subscribed, just click on that little My PI Dream heart in the bottom right hand side of your screen. You'll be subscribed, and if you ring that bell, you'll be notified the next time I upload a new video. So until such time, from right here in the beautiful Philippines, you have a wonderful and blessed day. If you enjoyed today's episode and you would like to see more just like these, just click on one of the helpful links over to your right, and you might be able to pick up on some good information on DIY projects, how to, or if you are interested in moving to the Philippines and building, you'll find answers there as well.